All right, to watch this video for Monday, October 15th. You know what? I might be a week away from trading full-time again, so that's good news. For those of you that weren't in chat on Friday or haven't been around lately, I'm pretty much just working the mornings because I got a lot of chaos going on, but I think I'm about a week out from being done. So let me slide this over because this is what happened to me Friday, sorry. I had Monday on the brain because tomorrow's Monday. This was the opening 2-minute candle on ACRX, gapped up, sold off, buyers came in and it put in this nice little tight flag. I called out over the mic, I like this as a high of day break. And you can see I made it, literally, I just sold into this spike because I had to leave, right? I had to leave early. So I was looking for one morning trade and $818 in the opening 15 minutes maybe. And if I could make $818 every 15 minutes, I'd be pretty well off. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way in trading. You've got to, kind of act like a sniper and find your setups and then strike when they show up and when they trigger and scale out, make your money and move on. But anyway, it was a nice way to finish my week considering I only worked, less than 30 minutes. You see some other people were in on the trade as well with me, and it was just a simple kind of a red to green right there after the gap up. And a really important part of that, I'm going to switch to the live chart here. Really important part of this equation because I like to explain why I take trades. All right, so switching to 5-minute candles, this one gapped up. I already liked the daily, right? So I love this over the high of day because you had sellers come in the morning, right at the opening bell after the gap up. When these sellers fail, in and of itself, that can be explosive, right? Irrespective of the daily chart. But then you look at the daily. Remember, this topped out in the first 10 minutes at 78 cents. So let's look at the daily real quick. I'll take Friday's candle out of it just so you can see what the chart looked like going into Friday. You can probably see why I liked it, right? You had this pop back here to 85 cents, and then Thursday's high was 75 cents. I loved it over 75 cents, but unfortunately it gapped up, right? It ended up opening at 77 cents. So all I can do then is look for one of my inflection point low risk entries with catalyst above. And that's exactly what this did, right? Remember, let's go back to the 5-minute chart. There's a great lesson here, by the way, if you'd like to trade morning gappers. So the 5-minute chart tops out at 78 cents. Sellers came in, and when these sellers fail, again, in and of itself, that's explosive. But why do I like this more? Because of the daily chart I just showed you. I already know if it breaks 85 cents from the other day, that's another potential catalyst, right? Let's go back to the 5-minute chart again. So I told everybody I like this over 78 because it might test and maybe break through that 85-cent catalyst on the daily chart. It's exactly what happened. I mean, it just ripped right through it. And I told everybody I wouldn't be surprised to see this hit a buck today, right? And look at, lo and behold, at the very end of the day, it hit 99.9 cents. I wasn't around because I can only trade pretty much this candle right here and I had to go. Anyway, so the daily chart here, I'm going to watch this again. Now, keep in mind, I like this a lot less than I did on Friday because it's already run 2 days straight from a low of 47 cents on Thursday. So it's basically doubled in 2 days. To me, that makes me like it a lot less. One thing that makes me like it a little bit more, though, is the whole number $1 is basically where I topped out on Friday. So if we see a setup through $1 on Monday, this might give another explosive move. So keep those things in mind. So that one's on watch. ACRX is on watch. It was halted all day on Friday. So I didn't know whether to put it on watch or not. And I looked and I noticed in after hours, this was trading kind of flagging right below $5. So this did open, it looks like, in after hours. If I'm wrong, somebody email me and correct me. But I do see after hours trading with a flag right around $5. So this is certainly a possible gap and go play on Monday. All right, CLDC gapped up back here, sold off over the next few days, almost round tripped. Had kind of an interesting pop on Friday from a low of $1.05 all the way to $1.50. The problem is it settled in much closer to the lows than the highs. There it is on 15-minute candles. But because it was as high as I don't know what, 276 just 4 or 5 sessions ago, and it did get an intraday spike on Friday. To me, that is enough for me to watch it on Monday. It doesn't cost me anything to have something on a chart. AMDA, the sub pennies have been, or sub dollar stocks, I guess you call them sub penny, no, sub dollar stocks. Anyway, they've been pretty good lately, like ears, right? So AMDA hit 41 cents on big volume, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, and then a nice little volume spike on Friday, topping out at 34.6 cents. I don't love this price range, but the chart is a little bit interesting. So it made the list, and there's not that much to watch because the market's been so weak that I don't have a ton of good setups. So I'll populate my charts with what I can get. This PYX, super strong. Big, huge 2 days here, then a gap up and reverse. Next thing you know, it's kind of challenging the, well, okay, that's not the best way to put it. It looked like it was going to challenge the most recent highs, then gapped up on Friday and sold off, but I kind of like the fact that it opened right around 45, kind of topped out shortly above that. Well, it went to 45.85. Anyway, I kind of like this if it can take out Friday's range, maybe even through 45. But I keep in mind when I make these videos, this might open at 40 on Monday. I have no idea. So if it opens somewhat flat, it might be worth a shot through 45, knowing that a break of Friday's high would be 45.85. Certainly like it over that. It might just squeeze. So, but one caveat to that: it is a very tricky trader. It's thin, whippy. VT. It's been a strong stock lately, and in a very weak market, it's actually held up pretty well, right? So there it is on 15-minute candles. Last couple days, it never broke its early high. It did seem to find support around 320-ish on Friday. So I don't love this, but it is kind of forming a tightening pattern. Looked like it was rolling over on Friday and ended up getting some buying coming in. So that one's on watch. Here, HEAR gapped up on earnings, like an early earnings release or something, preliminary report on Thursday. And I actually had a nice trade in it, believe it or not, a long trade. Well, I made a couple $100. Not a huge trade, but anyway, on Thursday, and then it rolled over. And then I happened to notice as I'm looking at charts today, this is Sunday, that had a really strong day on Friday. So it does have good earnings behind it. It has people that sold the gap up on Thursday kind of behind it. This one might be up from here. So let's keep our eyes on HEAR. A couple more. ACRX. Kind of looks like that CLDC gapped up about a week ago, sold off, and a nice volume spike on Friday. TROV is another one. So this had this spike, pretty much round tripped, but tried to pop back here to 90 cents. And then on Friday hit 88 cents. So you talk about stacked catalysts. I like it over 88, then over 90 could be another catalyst. And then it might challenge $1 and then slightly over $1. You have $1.07, the high from about a week ago on that massive volume day. So you do kind of have a stacked catalyst scenario in TROV. That's all I've got. If you weren't in chat recently, market's been weak, but we've been kind of doing a good job of finding the root, not the gems, if you will. If you're not a member of our site and you're watching this on YouTube or something, check the link down below because we have, I'm not going to say this every video, but just because it's so new, I'm going to keep letting people know. We have lowered the barrier to entry to our chat room to big $79 gets you involved now, where it used to be much higher. So check out that link because it's been a very popular way to get into our room. All right. That's it. I'm done babbling. We'll see everybody on Monday morning. Have a good night.